I do, Mr. Speaker. The next statement that I will give is the actuarial report for the Public Service Superannuation Fund as at March 31st, 2017. Mr. Speaker, in accordance with Section 8A of the Public Service Superannuation Act 1981, I have tabled the Public Service Superannuation Fund Actuarial Report as of March 31st, 2017. Mr. Acting Speaker, the Public Service Superannuation Fund, or PSSF, was established on April 1st, 1982 by the Public Service Superannuation Act 1981. Members will be aware of the purpose of the Public Service Superannuation Fund is to provide retirement pensions for retired employees of the Government of Bermuda and employees of various quasi-autonomous non-governmental organizations. The plan is a typical defined benefit plan. A defined benefits pension scheme is often regarded as more valuable than a defined contribution scheme. This is because the benefits from a defined benefit scheme are often calculated in proportion of final salary, with the employer carrying the investment risk, while defined contribution plans depend on the investment performance of the participant's account or pension pot. Mr. Speaker, the most significant events disclosed in the actuarial evaluation are as follows. The market value of assets as of March 31st, 2017 was $574.1 million compared to $572.7 million in 2014 when the last review was conducted. The asset value of $574.1 million represents roughly 7.9 times more than the projected annual payout of some $72.5 million for pensions in 2017. The actuarial liability was $1.444 billion as of March 31st, 2017, compared to $1.36 billion in 2014. The actuarial liability is based on the benefits earned up to the valuation date, assuming that the PSSF continues indefinitely. The unfunded liability was $844.3 million as of March 31st, 2017, an increase when compared to the $796.6 million in 2014. The unfunded liability is the difference between the actuarial liability and the actuarial value of the assets. The ratio of pension assets to liability, or funding ratio for the PSSF, was 41.3% as of March 31st, 2017, compared to 41.4% in 2014. Mr. Speaker, as mentioned above, the latest actuarial review shows the funded ratio of 41.3% for the PSSF as of the 31st of March 2017. Honorable members are aware that the PSSF has a guarantor in the government as far as benefit security goes. However, because of the risk that these unfunded liabilities present to the government, it is fiscally prudent for the government to adequately fund and plan for these, albeit long-term obligations, and maintain the funding ratio at an acceptable long-term target level. It is important to note that to achieve sustainable solvency, it is not necessary that all accrued benefits be fully funded. Research of the funding statuses of regional and international public service pension plans indicate that there is no internationally prescribed funding level. For instance, most of the CARICOM countries and the United Kingdom generally have a pay-as-you-go government-sponsored pension plans that are paid out of their consolidated funds. Accordingly, they are fully unfunded. In contrast, various government-sponsored occupational pension plans of Canadian provinces are either fully funded or close to fully funded. Honorable members should note that the following actions have been taken over the years in order to improve the sustainability of the PSSF. In 2006 to 2008, PSSF contribution rates were increased from 5% to 8% and 9.5% for regular members and uniformed officers, respectively. The increase in contributions resulted in an improvement in the cash position of the PSSF. And in June 2014, the automatic cost of living adjustment increases were suspended for pensioners until such time as the sustainability of the PSSF had been improved. Honorable members are advised that the COLA provision added about 23% 100% of the PSSF liabilities, and this change improved the sustainability of the fund. Mr. Acting Speaker, despite these actions, the PSSF remains underfunded, and there are no simple remedies to resolve the underfunded position of the plan. To assist with the review of this pension plan, a pension and benefits working group was established by the former administration. The purpose of this group was to review all public sector pension plans and to make recommendations to Cabinet in order to ensure the sustainability of these plans and benefits in a manner that is responsible and fair to both the pensioners and members of the plans and Bermuda taxpayers. Following this review, the Pension and Benefits Working Group proposed the following changes to the plan. First, to change the final average earnings definition from the salary payable to a person immediately preceding the date of their retirement to an average of his earnings over the 5 years preceding the date of retirement or termination. Increase the age at which an unreduced pension is payable from 60 to 65 and 55 to 60 for special groups, and apply actuarial reductions on early retirement prior to age 65 and increasing contributions. Finally, Mr. Acting Speaker, this government has also decided to explore the option of increasing the retirement age on a voluntary basis to 67 and to assess the impact that this action would have on the plan. I'm sure you agree with that one, Mr. Acting Speaker. Mr. Acting Speaker, the Ministry of Finance will engage the government's actuary of record to consider the impact that the above-mentioned changes to the plan would have on the long-term sustainability of the fund. It is anticipated that this engagement will be completed in the third quarter of 2018 and will be shared with this Honorable House. Mr. Acting Speaker, as per this government's normal custom and practice, the appropriate consultation with various stakeholders, specifically the public sector unions, will be conducted before any changes are made to the provisions of the plans. In closing, Mrs. Acting Speaker, I wish to assure current and future pensioners that the government is sensitive to the challenges facing pension plans of this nature and will take the appropriate steps to preserve the long-term financial viability of this pension plan. Thank you, Mr. Acting Speaker.